Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back with another video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. Well, I hope you've been feeling a little bit better this week than I've been. Just been dealing with some weird sinus stuff, and perhaps you can still hear it in my voice. But the good news is I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and as a result, I haven't shaved in about 4 days. So this is, I can't remember the last time I took this many days off. And so, you know, that's always a little more exciting when you have a little more growth to work with. The soap today is going to be a sample of Barrister and Mann Fougère Gothique. I watched a video by Shave and Butcher. I'm going to try to remember to include a link in the description for that, where he's describing the scent as he's using it, and it's very poetic and quite interesting, the way that he talks about it. And so I wasn't necessarily sure that I would love this scent, but just by the way that he described it, I knew that I had to at least try it. And this is in the new, or relatively new, Omnibus base. And I'll also try to remember to include a link to where you can buy Fougère Gothique from the Maggard Razors website, because I believe it is an exclusive between Barrister and Mann and Maggard. So we'll talk about the soap more as we go along. For the razor today, it is a 6/8 Wade & Butcher, probably about a quarter hollow, and this has some replacement scales from Ralph Aust. So I bought this razor on eBay just as the single blade, I don't know, a month or two ago. I sent it off, had it rescaled, and when I got the razor back, it was honed, of course, and I wasn't really happy with the edge. It was kind of rough and felt strange, and so a kind viewer of this channel and one of my straight razor associates, he offered to take a look at it, and he put a J-Nat edge on this razor. I believe my Ralph Aust and my Yankee cutlery that I first started off with, I believe those have J-Nat edges on them, and so I'm hoping that I will enjoy this edge. Thank you very much to that person, of course. The only thing with this razor is that the first person who honed it said that he was concerned that the steel seemed overly soft, like perhaps that it was heated up, perhaps to polish it or something, and then it lost a little bit of its temper. I'll talk more about that as we go, but that's really the only concern with this razor, is that perhaps it might not hold an edge due to the temper thing. So we'll talk about that more, and just shaking out some water from the Semogue Torga C5. Well, it's growth. I said let's get a scrubby brush going, and this one's pretty scrubby. You'll have seen this one on the channel a few times. So let's begin to load the soap here. And when I smelled Fougère Gothique just off the sample, my nose immediately went to the kind of sweeter, citrusy top notes that I believe it shares in common with Fougère Angelique. So they were released as sort of a, you know, a set that you could pair together, even though they're not exactly the same scent. And so my nose instantly went to those sort of notes, and I thought, this actually isn't quite as dank and earthy as I was expecting. Even now, I would still say it's more sweet than dank earth, however you want to call it. Perhaps it'll change after it's been, you know, sitting on my face for a while. But yeah, this isn't really as intense as I was expecting. Of course, I'm sure the splash or fragrance bring out, you know, those are better representations of the scent in general. But if you were worried about this, you know, if you were thinking about picking this up and you're worried it would be too earthy or something, I don't really think so. For example, the Euphrose Haitian vetiver that I use on this channel for a while, that is a much danker scent than this one. So just for an arbitrary comparison there, I am proud to report that I won the mustache competition with a friend of mine who decided to grow it out for the month as well. And I was considering taking it off perhaps in this video today, but I talked with a girlfriend and she wants me to keep it for a little while, so she gets to pick. Here we go with Fougère Gothique. The omnibus base is definitely softer than Reserve, which is what this scent used to be made in. Can definitely take a lot of water. I mean, I kind of feel redundant when I say that about Barrister and Mann soaps, because when I think about, for example, Reserve, Will recommends that you use a synthetic brush, a very small, you don't load that much soap, and then you just add a ton of water. And then I remember even with Excelsior, because of some of the ingredients in that soap, if you didn't add enough water, the soap wouldn't perform as well as it could, and perhaps would have some negative post-shave effects on you. So when I say that omnibus takes a lot of water, I don't think that is really that helpful, because all of Will's bases that I've tried, maybe some of those older ones like Glissant, and I haven't tried them, but White Label, Black Label, perhaps those ones didn't require as much water. But every Barrister and Mann base that's been out since I joined the hobby in 2019, they've all seemed to require quite a bit of water. So that maybe can be difficult for some people, but as far as I know, Barrister and Mann is one of the top selling brands in our little niche, so they're probably doing just fine. Just gonna keep adding some water here, and yeah, I'm not really picking up on those darker notes at this point. I might have to try another form of the scent to see if they appear. This was what, I mentioned the Shave and Butcher video, but additionally, when I went to Maggot Razors for the little informal meetup we had, not this year, but the previous year, so 2021, Brad passed around this tub of the original Fougère Gothique, like the one that wasn't sold, but it was like the tester, and it was incredibly strong. Like, it was one of the strongest soaps I had ever smelled, maybe. And so from its potency, and then also from that Shave and Butcher video, I just knew that I had to try it. I think we're gonna call it good here for now. It is nice to have a little bit more scrub from your brush when you've got 4 days growth like I do. I think, obviously I'm not, people always say, like, before they make some medical claim, they say, I'm not a doctor, but, so I'll say I'm not a doctor, but my mom is a nurse, and she always says that if you change weather quickly, like, for example, I was in Florida last week, and then I came here and it was freezing cold. She always says that, like, if you change weather quickly, you're going to be likely to catch a cold. So I'm not sure if there's any basis to that, but that's something that she says. And when I told her I wasn't feeling well, she said, "Oh, well, it's because you went back to Chicago after being in sunny Florida for a week." So here we go with the Wade and Butcher, and let's see how this one has a short tail. I forgot to say, this is probably from the mid 1800s, and let's see how it treats us here. feels okay. It feels quite sharp. It's possible my technique is to blame. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not really comfortable. I'm not sure what it is. Let me try one more pass here on the left to see if that makes a difference for some reason. But I'm probably going to switch razors in a second. Oof. Yep. Nope. Okay. Well, you win some, you lose some. I have the Carve Overlander nearby. That's really too bad, but it happens. Like I said, I bought that blade just on kind of a flyer on eBay. It was sold kind of as is, and I didn't. There's always a chance that you will get those razors, and even if you send it to somebody who really knows what they're doing, that it's not going to work out. So something that I never considered, but they're actually, I'm wondering now if it's actually better to find a blade that's a little bit rough and hasn't been, cleaned up very much, in favor of a blade that has been, overheated and then lost its temper, basically. So I'll ask, I'll let the person know that edge is not really working. So it's okay. We've got other razors. See, and I didn't even really get this right here when I was going. So that's what was weird. Is this? I'm not sure. Because if it were just sharp but uncomfortable, it would have taken off that hair. So I'm confused as to why it didn't. Okay, first pass done. I'll rinse and come back in for pass number 2. Just a moment. Pass number 2. Okay, we're back. I'm just going to try one more time with this razor. Let's just see if it's... Now it feels better. It could have been my technique. I guess. Interesting. It's possible that it was just because there was so much growth, and I've never really done that with a mostly hollow straight razor before, With a wedge, it's pretty easy to just go right through it, even if your technique isn't that great. But that's so funny. Really feels like a night and day difference. Interesting. Well, nobody to blame but me. It almost feels too smooth now, actually. That's so funny. Yeah. Switch hands here. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll rinse, and I'll try a third pass going against the grain with this, so stay tuned. Third pass with Fougère Gothique. Okay, let's see how this razor does against the grain. We'll start right hand on the left side. Wow. Bend the scales a little bit. That feels very good. Hope everybody's having a good start to the holiday season. Had a good time putting up my little fake tree. What was that? A few days ago. And listened to Vince Guaraldi, of course, as I did that. That's sort of becoming my new tradition. I'll listen to the Charlie Brown Christmas album as I set up the tree and whatnot. So that's nice. Yeah, this razor feels very good now. You can really hear the feedback. So strange. I don't know if I ever had such a night and day experience like this with a razor. You know, I've done this a bunch. Got lots of video evidence as well. I'm gonna have to think about that. Bend the scales a little. Okay, we'll go across. And then we'll go up. Okay, let's feel around. Got a little bit there. And a little bit there. Wow. Well, I guess this razor is saved. So that's good news. I was thinking I was just gonna have this as like a display piece or something, but it seems pretty good. So obviously more testing is required on my part, but yeah, pretty decent shape by the end. So I'll rinse and come back and talk to you over post shave. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and let's use a little Noble Otter unscented balm. Still working my way through this little sample, and still very happy every time I use it. So that's awesome. It hasn't gotten so cold that I need to start using the Chateau Look salve or the Declaration Grooming liniment, but I'm sure that those days will be coming sooner than I'd like to admit. Use a little bit too much, so we'll just rinse. Okay, well, interesting shave today, but the good news is that it ended better than I expected. So the Fougère Gothique soap. I have tried the Angelique Splash, and I guess I would say that this is darker, but to be honest, they have it's more similar than I would have thought. So like I said, don't be afraid to pick this one up if you're concerned that it might be too dark, right? Okay, we used Semogue Torga C5, nice and scrubby, just what I like. And finally, the this way would be better. The Wade & Butcher quarter hollow J-Nat edge, about a 6/8, and wow, ended up being totally fine. So really odd, but that's why you gotta try these things out, and I'm always learning new things. So I can say I learned something today, right? All right. Well, thank you all so much if you made it this far. I know this was kind of a long, little more quiet video, but you know, I don't script these things, and I don't know how they're gonna always turn out. So for now, this has been HD Shaves. Take care. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.